Hello everybody, this is a new episode, and it's in the similar veins to possibilities of possibilities, but it's different, and it's going to be interesting. And everyone wakes up of Class 1A in a room that is cemented, but there's a door. And their sensei, Eraserhead, or Aizawa Shota, says, "Everyone here? Everyone okay? Who's here? Here. Me. And everyone in Class 1A besides Mineta is here. Here." And Midori says, Sensei?" Aizawa says, "Yes." "What's happening?" Izuku internally is freaking out because he remembers going to bed last night in the dorms. When it's literally been barely a week ever since the dorms started. And Eraserhead says, "I don't know, but one thing I do know is that I don't like it." Ida Tenya says, "Well, we need to figure out the situation, so let's get out of this room." Aizawa Shota says, "Well, yeah, you have a point. Wait, let's get out of here." And they all leave the room and see on the outside, they see fire, blood, and gore. And Aizawa feels a familiar feeling and realizes something. They're all being affected by a quirk. And it's not just a normal hallucinogen quirk. No. That would be very easy to tell, especially the fact that Aizawa Shota has been trained to negate that. This is what he dislikes these quirks heavily, because they are unpredictable as hell. They're similar in the way Night Eyes' quirk is, but very different. Where instead of them seeing in the future, they can bring people to possibilities of it. And he doesn't know how this quirk works, but he doesn't like what he's seeing. He's seeing blood, gore, and everything. And he, with his class, what I'm just going to call Class 1A, a OG, sees a lot of Nomu in the distance, and sees many people, pros. They see a pro hero, a student, and a few different people. And Eraserhead says, "What the bleep is happening?" And Eraserhead grabs the comm he keeps on him at all times, and puts it in his ear and hopes and prays that this reality's comms are similar. And he taps into the comms, and he hears a bunch of voices at once. He hears one voice say, "Hey, we need backup. Frostfire is fucking killing us by the droves." And he hears, notably Endeavor, say, "What? Where is he?" And he hears another voice that sounds like Momo Yarozu says, "All Endeavor, do not get close to that situation. Have another pro will deal with that." Endeavor says, "He's my son." "Yeah? Well, let's just say this. He's killing us as much as those Nomu are. So we need to fall back to Matsutafu, or we're all going to be dead." And the comms go dead. And Eraserhead says, "What? What the hell is going on?" And And when all of them, all of Class 1A OG follow where these comms are going, they go to a base, and you can see many people from different schools, hero schools, different people. For example, they see a lot of different pros, and just random people helping, using their quirks, and etc. And Bakugo says, "What the hell is happening?" And Racerhead says, "I don't know, but I want to figure out where we are, because these quirks tend to be only temporary. Right? At most a week, or at least a week, in the best case scenario, at most a month. Because I've only heard of one case of it being a year, and holy God, I hope it's not a year." And they go to a gate, and they see Pro Hero Brave at the door with a gun, and half his head is burnt. Half his head is burnt. And he says, "Why are you all here? And who the hell are you?" Eraserhead says, "You know me, Brave. Last time I saw you, you were half dead on the fucking hospital bed. So tell me, who are you? Are you Toga? Or another one of the analyst's minions?" "What? I'm not." And he sees Sakachi there and says, "Brave, he's telling the truth. Yeah. Hope your quirk ain't defective. The analyst knows how to get around my quirk. For some reason." And Izuku Midoriya internally says, well, there are many ways to get around his quirk. And Izuku Midoriya only says that internally. And Eraserhead says, "Can we come in? And it's a bloody war zone out of here." And Sakachi says, "Come in, come in, come in." And Sakachi says, "Who are all of you? We're Class 1A. Eraserhead says, "I'm Eraserhead. This is my class, Class 1A. That's impossible." Sakachi says, "But that's not even possible. Unless... No, the last time that's been reported, it was a decade ago." Oh. Is that Eraserhead says, "I presume you're thinking the same case I am." Yeah. Sakachi says, "So you're telling me you're from a different reality?" Yeah. And Brave looks all over the class and sees one face he recognizes. Izuku Midoriya. And Brave says, "Why the fuck is he here?" And Brave lifts up Izuku Midoriya and puts him to the wall and says, "You fucking bastard. Tell me, how fucking wonderful is it to have us dead by droves?" And Izuku Midoriya says, What? And Todoroki freezes Brave and says, "Lay your hand off of lay off of Izuku." Brave says, well, Frost frame and damn self, huh? You wanna fucking know round two? Who fucking bastard? And Sakachi says, "Stop, Brave, stop. He's not the analyst we know." A Racerhead stills because what he knows of the analyst, he's the bad guy. And Sakachi says, "I don't know where you guys are from, but let's just say this." He points to Izuku Midoriya. he is not going to be very much welcomed here. Either him. Why is Todoroki and... Actually, let's see. Turbo... What? Yeah, those two are the only ones that are not going to be welcomed here. I'm not going to throw them away, but let's just say this: if any of the other people here, they see them, they're not going to like them. Eraser, it says why? Simple. Those two are the heads of the Nomu. And let's just say this. I don't know how, I don't know why. But let's just say, in our reality, Izuku Midoriya is one of the worst. I can't even call them villains because he's a lot more than just that. Because at least in the army against the Analyst, we have a lot of previous villains that want to fight on our side. And let's just say this, we're losing badly. Eraser, it says, what happened? Pretty simple, really. About during the USJ. Yeah? In our time, I don't know how it went in yours, but in our timeline, All Might died then. All Might died to a blade made of 5 inches and 5 inches. 5 inches. Eraser, it says, why is the length so important? Let's just say this. The Analyst made loud and clear how long the blade was to prove a point. Because anyone can be dead by a hand of any kind. And let's just say this. The Analyst is one of the most dangerous... I don't even know what to call them anymore. Because a villain and him are two different damn things. Even All For One would be a pitiful... Actually, how All For One dealt with stuff is very different to how the Analyst does stuff. Because the Analyst has a few things that All For One did not. First, and Eraserhead says, whoa. Who are you talking about All For One? You mean the villain that attacked All Might in Kamino? What do you mean? What do you mean? And Izuku Midoriya says, wait, I killed All Might? Sakachi says, yeah, I don't know how that affects you. Personally, I see your face and see the person that killed my best friend, but I'm not going to blame you for another person's actions. Todoroki says, so, me and Zuko are villains. Yes. And that is the end of this part. I know it's short, but I have technical difficulties over here. So videos are going to be shorter because of storage. But anyway, please like and subscribe and thank you. And in this video, it was called The Consequences for Actions. This is the second part to Consequences of Actions Part 2. Sakachi says, yes. You, Izuku Midoriya, and Shoto Todoroki are villains. To our knowledge, you were one of the... Actually, Brave says, we can't be sure about that. How so? Well, there has been reports of some students from Class 1A betraying heroes. For example, I didn't really say much a few minutes ago because I knew the kid. my new Tensei. Ida stills when he hears that. And Sakachi says, yeah, and well, I can't blame the kid. And you saw those reports, the analyst revealed. Brave said, yeah, but still, it doesn't... Razorhead says, whoa, 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 whoa. First, what do you mean about Tensei? Second, why does this have to do with my student? Let's just say this. After All Might's death, you still go with a sports festival because you wanted to portray strength. Even though, let's just say, the country was even in mourning at that time. Honestly, many people said that it was ridiculous. And one thing is that during the sports festival, I presume in your timeline Stain exists, yes? In our timeline, or the one we live in, Stain injured and nearly killed Tensei. And when Stain was apprehended, during when Ida tried to attack Stain, and Ida, the Ida in the room right now, or I'm just gonna call original Ida for now, kind of blushes because he remembers trying to kill Stain because of revenge for his brother. And Sakachi says, well, the reason why Stain even attacked Tensei was the fact that the HBSC sent somebody, or basically flat out told Stain that Tensei did something bad to eliminate him because, well, the HBSC wanted power, and still did always until the end. And Ida blanches and says, what? The Hero Commission did what? I don't know if it's in your reality, kid, but let's just say this. In our reality, there's unidentifiable proof. The HBSC gave information that was false to Stain to have Tensei neutralized. And the analyst revealed that information to the entire world. And let's just say this. The kid went bonkers. And when the HPSC was going... Actually, I believe... I wasn't there, but I'm going to be ad-libbing what you said to me, or the eraser of this timeline told me, eraser. Okay, that's going to get confusing. So let's just do... Let's say you're the group from an external reality, so EX people. And Denki says, isn't that like a fan site? And Takashi says, it is the best one I can think of off the top of my head. But anyway, our Racerhead says that about a few days after the reveal, and when the government was still around, the HPSC was knocked on UA's door to collect Ida Tenya so he wouldn't go rogue. And Ida decided to say, fuck it, and ran. And also the fact that another student, Uraraka Ochako, or the more well-known one alias, Nebula, decided to go with them. Because of the fact that, well, the injustice of what happened to his brother, there affected her too, because of the fact that that same week, her parents died to a villain attack, or not really even a villain attack. I can't even say that. Brave says, as much as I would wish that wasn't true, ooh, it is. Endeavor did kill her parents. And Uraraka Ochako, EX Uraraka Ochako freezes. And Sakachi says, yeah, let's just say this. Thanks to that happening, Nezu decided to say the HBSC will not be allowed on UA campus, no matter under any circumstance besides its country threat level. And the HBSC went into fury and had Hawks attempt to assassinate Nezu. But one thing about that is Hawks was on a mission. Well, the original mission was to try to get into the League of Villains, and I don't know if that was in your reality. And Eraserhead says, wait, what do you mean? Hawks is a project from the HBSC. That is an unidentifiable fact. He flat out said it himself. Kinda sad that many pros went to the side of the analyst. Every EX person in the room blanches, because that seems insane. And Momo Yarozu says, what? Wait, what? They would join villains? Sakachi says, well, the analyst is very good at analyzation and manipulate. No, I can't even call it manipulation. It's kind of funny, really. My quirk can detect its own my own lies. Eyes, even when it's not even subconscious, is when I do it. I can say this. They use their information against the HBSC and the society government of Japan. And ever since Todoroki Shoto, during the sports festival, decided to go AWOL, during internships, because, well, one interesting bit to our knowledge is that Shoto Todoroki and Izuku Midoriya of our timeline interacted somehow and developed romantic feelings for each other. And both Shoto Todoroki, actually, no, only Izuku Midoriya is flushed like a tomato, though, because that's when both of them really saw attraction that's when he saw attraction to Todoroki, and Shoto says, okay, that makes sense. And Izuku Midoriya says, what? Wait, you're telling me that you would be a villain? And Shoto Todoroki says, yes. Yes, and yes and no. Oh, I would say. Like, I would have to consider it before I joined you. And you hear, and everyone in the room hears Mina say, simp. And Sakachi says, anyway, Shoto Todoroki leaving was the precedence when Ida Tenya left, because, let's just say this, no student and the USJ died. He wanted, the analyst made that abundantly clear. Even when Moneta was exposed to be a very aggressive pervert to a point where he had sexual assault allegations and UA still accepted him. Even though the HPSC forced UA to accept them, but that was a dunk on both the HPSC and UA. And Izuku Midori says, what quirks do I have in this reality? I'm just going to be blunt. Until recently, you did this 99% quirkless. 99.9% quirkless. / had people do it. Because, to be frank, the analyst has taught us that you don't need a quirk to be powerful. Bakugo says, what do you mean? And Brave says, oh. Bakugo Katsuki, I presume. Yeah? The analyst made an example out of you. And many others. There's from Aldera High. And Izuku internally says, what did I do? How did I end up like this? And Bakugo says, what? The weak Deku tried to... And Brave says, I'm just going to stop you here, kid, and I'm just going to show you a video. And this was during, I believe, what you would call the incident you said earlier when All Might retired in your reality. But this is when Bakugo Katsuki was kidnapped. He plays a video, and you see a green-haired boy in a black suit with a green tie with a white undercoat, or black. Okay, a suit, white, and a black visor, and the analyst says, Well, nation of Japan, I am happy to present you Bakugo Katsuki, the man, or the bastard that, well, let's just say this, made me the way I am. And also, well, the change of the world needs to change in many ways. For example, All Might, the self-made Japan and the world docile. And I needed to get rid of him to get rid of the false pillar of security. Next, let's get rid of the next endeavor, shall we? And Bakugo Katsuki and EX Bakugo Katsuki, or at least EX Bakugo Katsuki, looks terrified. Because the way Deku in his head has his alternate self, his hands are behind his back with quirk cuffs, and his legs are tied to the chair. And the analyst says, now, I'll show the fact that one of the most strongest students, the actual winner of the sports festival, the sports festival, Bakugo Katsuki, or, by an old name that I used to call him, Kachan. And I will show you the crimes that this student has made. He snaps his fingers, and over 10 to 20 videos play, and Brave says, "This is the moment where Bakugo Katsuki's reputation outside of UA falls to near destroyed. To the point where our people were disgusted, and he made a message that the Hero Society ain't welcome to people that are different. People that do not have strong quirks, people that do not have quirks at all, are not welcome. But they are with the League of Villains. Or the organization is called today." And Eraserhead says, "What the hell?" And that is the end of this part. I know that was a semi-anticlimactic end, but hey, I hope you like it. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and please comment, please. Hello everybody, this is part 3 of Consequences for One's Actions. This is going to be a perception change. This is going to be this version's Izuku Midoriya and his crew. The analyst says, "We do not need the heroes to be controlling society. We've had them in control for nearly 100 years, and what has that given us? A crime rate so high, it's considered ridiculous to our neighbors, to the point of insanity. Yes, I have to just say the only thing good about the hero system is a sense of false security. Thanks to the fact that every country on the planet has spewed the same nonsense ever since. And Japan started over 100 years ago. And now we've almost pushed them out of the country. Only Matu Tafu's left." And he hears the crowd of people genuinely agree with him. And he heads back to his personal quarters. And he sees Frostfire, his husband, boyfriend. They haven't actually wedded the knot yet, but it's probably soon. And Frostfire, or what the analyst calls him, Shoto. He says, "Shoto, how was your day?" "Pretty good. Got rid of some of those hero bastards. And saw my bastard sperm donor." Congratulations. Take him out?" Me and Toya are fighting over who's going to kill him. Personally, I'm sticking to what I promised you both. If you want the analyzation to kill your father, you can, and have it. As much as I love you, Aizu, I want to be able to do things on my own. Because as much as many people are too afraid to speak out, because many people think we're dictators, we're not. We're just people with strong opinions. Izuku says, well, I'm not we're not dictators by the common term. We allow people to say their opinions, unlike the heroes, where basically anything anti-hero is considered a villain. Actions are more valuable than words. And I've heard the stories too. And Shoto says, even though sometimes I kind of wish They were sometimes true. And Izuku Midoriya, or the analyst, blushes like a madman because of what he just said. Because one of the rumors is the fact that Frostfire is the basically sugar baby of the analyst. And Izuku Midoriya goes into his tomato mode, is what Turbo calls it, because Turbo, or Ida Tenya, ever since he left Heroes, has mostly gotten his stick out of his ass. Yes, he personally still has a code of conduct that he sticks to. Every person in the organization does. But Tenya, in one of those rules it says teasing is appropriate for a morale boost. Even though it's half the time it's just hilarious. But, well, it doesn't get the job done. And the analyst says, and Shoto says, well, anyway, and Shoto's face has a blush, and says, anyway, I presume you want to keep producing Nomo. Yes, and also the fact I've cracked the capability of getting All for One's quirks. Ah, yeah, I forgot. Actually, I didn't forget, it's just kind of funny, really. You did all this. You took over the damn country. Without a damn quirk. Not even one. Out of spite, determination, and enough of anger to kill a god. No. Killing two gods. All Might, All for One. And Shoto and Izuku laugh their butts off. And now with the other members of the league, Uraraka says, or Nebula says, well, it's been easy work today. Turbo says, yeah, it has. Especially thanks to Poison, or formerly Froppy, helping us. And Froppy says, personally, I prefer to still go by Froppy, but it's still too affiliated with my old hero name, even though I barely had it for a week. Eek. And Turbo says, point taken. And Poison says, I'm still never going to get used to that. No offense, Turbo. Well, one thing I've realized is that stick up my ass energy I had can get people killed. Let's just say this. Following the rules may technically be legally right, but morally it is unreprehensible. Especially what the Hero Commission did. Just because Nebula says, hey, don't worry, those bastards are long dead, and we'll make sure they'll be a forgotten memory. And they see people around them saying, woo, Turbo, Nebula, Poison. And after a few hours of fanning, because honestly, even though they're technically villains, most people just consider them just the new heroes of the day, or the more appropriate term, the generals of the new world, or the soldiers of the new world. Because a famous speech from the analyst said, the Hero Commission was not making heroes in a hero school. They were making living soldiers. At least when I call my allies soldiers, I don't blatantly hide it. But I at least give them a lot more respect than the Hero Commission gives heroes. And over time, in this world, the analyst, Izuku Midoriya, took down the world with his own quirkless hands. And the only thing he needed to do is use his mind, hands, and manipulation. Machine capabilities. Using his mind to use the words of charisma to make sure the way he wants the world to be, where the strong ain't kicking down the weak, where people can live equally without needing to worry about a villain attack every 2 hours, where the crime rate is about 50% lower than back in old Japan. And Izuku says, Izuku and Shoto are in swimwear because they're taking a day off at the pool, and says, hopefully those hero bastards are hoping to surrender. Izuku says, you know something funny? Back when I was an idealistic child, and yes, I'm barely a year older, but I can call myself a child when I saw the world such tinted glasses. Shoto says, I have to ask Izu, how bad was it? Burns every day, being called a useless piece of dirt just because of me having a special toe joint. And you know something funny? You know something bloody hilarious? I honestly think if something happened differently, many things would have been different. What do you mean? If two things happened differently, for example, I'm just going to say this hypothetical. If a hero found me that day instead of All For One, I'd probably be a hero. Shoto says, you a hero? Well, okay, that doesn't sound too far-fetched. Probably more like Stain if you were a hero. Yeah, you know I never liked killing. It's the entire reason why I flat out forced the doctor to only use animal patients. Animal patients for the Nomu. And also the fact that animals are very much easier to get than human. And also less politically detrimental. And Shoto says, you strategist. And Shoto kisses Izuku on the lips. And Izuku blushes a little, but has gotten used to it, because he has mostly tried to get rid of his nervous tics, thanks to the fact that he needs to portray strength. But he can be weak with Frostfire, or just as Shoto. And Dabi and Toga and Shiggy are watching with the other parts of the crew, Nebula, Turbo, and Poison. And all of them are playing Monopoly. And Uraraka, or Nebula, is kicking everybody's butt. And Shigaraki says, how the bleep are you winning so many times? Simple. I know how to money manage. Shigaraki says, holy fucking Christ. Dabi says, oh God. Okay, I have one railroad about out my little ass in jail. Oh, and, oh, bloody hell. Oh, and everyone else at this point, besides Shiggy, Dabi, and Toga, are out of the game because Uraraka has flat out bought every single property and basically bankrupt everyone else. And Toga says, I have 2 railroad, Dabi. Yeah? Sell me a railroad, I'll give you enough money to get to the next pass go. No, it's the only thing making sure I stay alive in this game. No, thank you. And for the next good 2 hours and a half, because even when the board is that covered, it takes hours to win. Uraraka wins because she takes out Toga and Dabi, and let's just say a Toga, Poison, and Nebula have a 3-way relationship. But they personally just keep it to their bedroom. That's what happens when Toga and Poison drag Uraraka to all their 3 bedrooms. Because of the fact that they were playing with real money. Because they're so wealthy at this point, they're a faction's times more wealthy than All Might, Endeavor, and the top 100 heroes combined. And in their prime. And Dabi says, one thing that honestly makes a lot of sense and a little sense is how a lot of things changed when that little squirt came in. Shigaraki said. And to Dabi, really? How small was he back in the day? As much as that feels so wrong to say, it feels genuinely correct. Shigaraki says, let's just say this. You wouldn't believe me on how he looked back in the day. You wouldn't. And Dabi says, can you explain? Sure. He was pretty small. Well, smaller than Toga. I think even smaller than Poison. Really? And a lot less muscular. The only thing he had was his mind and his fucking determination to kill a god. And was capable of doing it twice. And Dabi says, holy cow. Holy cow. Besides that, what is one thing you're surprised about? Shigaraki says is the analyst always keeps his word. Even though sometimes it would be in his benefit to break it. And that is the end of this part. I know this is more a mix of fluff and I don't know the correct term but more or somewhat steamy scenes. More steamy scenes, honestly, I know. But honestly, I just wanted that out there because this is the only thing I could think of off the top of my head. But anyway, please like and subscribe, and thank you.